Ladies and gentlemen, we're here today at the Icon Show at the ECW Arena. We are in the presence of greatness and mystique. And today we're here with Keebu Harris, and we're going to talk a little bit about pro wrestling, man. I got to ask you a couple questions, man. So, what did you think about Icons today?
It was really good, man. It was really good because there was a lot of networking opportunities, and to see the Hardy Boyz again, man, that meant the world.
Oh man, I think that's your guys, right?
Yeah, man, they're my favorite wrestlers since I was a kid, man, and to see them, again, and to really dig deep into how to take and try to find the best words for it. Take my career to the next level, if that makes sense. So right now I'm there, like I'm back on the circuit, I'm healthy, I'm 100%, and I'm just ready to get back in the mix, man, because I've been missing it for a while.
Yeah, I mean, you went through some shit since the last time I saw you, man. Like, you want to talk about any of this? Or?
Oh, absolutely, man. I actually got diagnosed with COVID pneumonia.
You got COVID?
COVID pneumonia, and if anybody, any wrestling fan knows who Mickey Henson is, Mickey Henson was the ECW referee, and he ended up getting diagnosed with that a couple months ago. He just passed away last month for the same thing, man. So I look back and just stepped back in the ring for practice for the first time. You kind of take it for granted until you can't do it anymore. So to step back in the ring, man, it was very, very, very humbling, man.
Wow.
I miss it so much.
Good to have you back.
Being in the hospital and those fans, just, oh man, can't wait to see you back in the ring. It hurt my heart, man. But, to be back and just the love and admiration of the fans, it really meant a lot to me.
So I know you're doing something in town. What part of New York are you at?
I'm actually in Elmira, New York, but I also train out in Campbell, New York. HC Local is my trainer, definitely. And everything has been going really extremely well. Like things have been progressing a lot faster than I thought, actually. But yeah, man, business is booming. Wrestling is hot again. WrestleMania is next week, and I'm 100% good to go, man. You gotta get support, man. I'm so happy to be back.
That's so good. So good. Something I have to speak about just because of what's going on here in the city is there's a crazy amount of gun violence going on in Philadelphia, and security just lost somebody in an unrelated issue to the building somewhere else in Overbrook, actually. Something close to where I grew up. So you got to be careful in this city right now. This city is fucking crazy.
Not just this city, man. I think everywhere, because there's a lot of guns, there's a lot of violence, there's a lot of stabbings, there's a lot of a lot of chaos.
Yeah.
And I think the problem is that like when your emotions are high, your logic, your common sense, and your discernment is all the way down at the bottom. So nobody really taking time to pray and to think before they move it. Because it could cost you your life, it could cost you thousands, if not millions of dollars.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
None of it's worth it. You know what I'm saying? Like avoid any trouble you can when you're out on the streets today. That's what I say.
I agree.
Yeah,
definitely agree.
Back to pro wrestling. So, I don't know. I mean, there was a lot of guys here today. Like I met Sabu and had a really long conversation. Really blew my mind. I mean, he's the Sheik's nephew and he's Sabu.
Yeah.
So it's like, whoa, man. Like, did you meet anybody today where you were like, whoa, like this is a really special event?
Well, I waited in line for like an hour 40 minutes to see the Hardys. It was cool to, it was good to, catch up with them, see how everything was with wrestling. And tag team wrestling is it's completely different now. I'm not going to say it's better or worse or, business has changed.
They've become trailblazers.
I agree. I agree.
Crazy. I got to meet Komodo Wanalea and I gave her some music. So I thought that was some Hawaiian shit or something. I got to give Komodo Wanalea some music at the ECW Arena. There's a lot of people, man. A lot of people there. Ivory was here.
I did see her.
She was talking to everybody, man. I mean, she was just social. Social butterfly. Alpha Junior was here. Have you had any experiences with the Allentown crew pro wrestling, like the Small Dynasty or anything?
No, I haven't, but I definitely have heard of them before, and I definitely would like to check them out.
Okay, so
as soon as possible.
I'm gonna hook you up with Alpha Junior today. So
really?
Yeah. So Allentown. Okay.
It's not too far from here.
Yeah, it's a little out of the city, not too far, maybe 45 minutes out.
Yeah.
They've been holding it down for so long since I about it as enough, yeah, you might not.
Yeah, I don't
think.
know.
Yeah, they definitely do. Like, so I'm trying to think what else. Like, question. I know you're an Attitude Era guy, so like, who were your guys in that era? Like, I know for me, I was a Nation guy all day. Like who were some of your go-tos?
Outside of the Hardys, I would say definitely Education. Definitely the Dudley Boyz. I was for some reason I was a big tag team like fanatic.
Yeah.
But like the minute that I started working shows and doing matches, I was like, I don't want to do this. I prefer singles. It's just I can do tag team, but I prefer singles. It's just a personal preference.
Yeah, that's cool. It's a great tag wrestler. I mean, dude, I love Demolition. That was my favorite tag.
Definitely Demolition.
The Eliminators here. Oh man, because I thought they were going to blow up instead of the Dudleys, but then when the Eliminators broke up, the Dudleys grabbed the ball.
Yeah.
But it was weird because the Eliminators at one time were the greatest tag team in the world, but it just didn't last that long. Yeah, sometimes it happens like that. Like, I was like, check this out.
Hakeem the African Dream.
That was how it happened, man. It didn't last long, but it happened.
Yeah, it happened. That's
You know what I mean?
the part that matters.
Yeah.
Actually, one more quick update. We actually do have a show coming up in Elmira, New York.
Tell them.
Forsyth, New York. We actually have a county fair show August 3rd. Man, it's going to be jam-packed. It's going to be wild and crazy. And last year, we really did really good. And I was part of the Nikki Baker Battle Royal.
Nice.
I ended up winning.
Nice.
And you know what the cool thing about it is that a lot of people who don't know me personally don't know the whole backstory to that.
Yeah.
So, rewind back to 2017, I was homeless, and I was actually working for that Chemont County Fair for a temporary.
It's not a gimmick. This is.
Yeah, no. This is a shoot. Like this is real, man. Like I would literally get done with work and then shower at the fair because I had no place to stay. And the places I was staying at, I was couch surfing. It was really hard to find employment. So I was just like at the lowest of the lows. And then you fast forward 4 years later, it was cool because now I'm headlining a show and then I'm winning the match there, and nobody can take that away because I worked hard to get there. You know what I mean? I had to sacrifice, I had to pray, I had to sweat, I had to fight, I had to let go of some people actually, and it was worth it. It was more than worth it, and God gets the glory for that. And look how everything came around full circle. So this time we're going to do it again, and it's about 600 people at a Elmira Fair show. It's humbling.
Yeah.
This time I want to do it bigger, better, and more, like better than ever.
Got you.
Nice.
Yeah, so question. So what's different about your guys' shows? Like, I'm sure you guys have something that you bring to the shows that's different. You know what I'm saying? And like what we do here in Philly.
Yeah.
Like for example, like here we got hot dogs. You know what I mean? I think that's every wrestling show. But,
Yeah, every show, hot dogs, hamburgers, nachos.
But yeah, like what's different about the culture? I guess that's what I'm trying to say of New York shows.
It's really, I'm trying to think what's different. I would say it's pretty much the same. Only thing with, I really don't see.
Really, it's really the same like that.
It's different though because like every time like I step in the ring, like I don't see a difference. The only thing I see is just loud, rowdy people, and that just my adrenaline overtakes, man. And I'm just ready to get to go, and I'm ready to go out there and compete with everybody and anybody.
Yeah, that's cool. Yo, do you know Rob Noxious by chance?
I've heard of him.
Classic Championship Wrestling.
I'm not sure if I've actually got to meet him face to face.
They're doing shit about an hour away from here, and they're doing like it's cool because they'll do classic shit the whole show, and then they'll do like a hardcore match at the end of the night.
Nice.
So it's like they don't overdo it, but it's like I can see you getting with him on some shit. Like I mean, he like if you got with here, Allentown, and him, you're good.
Actually, I think that's who Jeff Hardy was talking about when I talked to him earlier.
Really?
I talked to Rob. I think Rob Noxious was the guy he was referring to.
Possible, dude. Wow. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if they know each other or not. To be honest.
What do I have to lose?
Yeah. It's just the way that I'm noticing from being back. The Pennsylvania circuit is pretty cool. You know.
Yeah.
You know, it's just I'm happy to be a part of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying to think, man. Like Okay, now this was crazy. Big E broke his neck the other day.
Oh man.
I mean, I saw the injury, and it was one of those injuries where as soon as you see it, you know that dude just broke his neck. You know?
Yeah, I remember watching that and just seeing as soon as his neck hit the mat, I knew something was wrong.
Yeah.
And
I yelled.
prayers out to Big E, man. That's a really brutal injury. And right before WrestleMania, you talk about bad timing. That's the worst.
He just got the belt.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable, man. I mean, you can't make that shit up.
No.
And man, like, so when that happened, like I wasn't watching it live, and I'd heard about it, and I was like, that's crazy, you know. So I took me a couple weeks to like gather what I needed to go watch it, you know.
Right.
And then I watched it, and I yelped, like I was like it's just. It was that brutal of an injury.
It's serious though, but that's why like when we go to practice, that's why we work on the fundamentals, and that's why we work on the basics.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Why did that happen in that match the way that it happened? You know, like
it's pro wrestling. You know, things happen. People get injured on stuff that wasn't supposed to.
Yeah.
It wasn't supposed to work out like that.
Yeah, maybe there was a miscall of a move or something.
It could have been a botch. It could have been bad timing, but that's why when we go to these schools and we work on these moves, or we go and do practice matches or anything like that, that's why it's always important to work on the basics and the fundamentals, but also to do them sound, because you can get hurt on any move.
Yeah. Every move kind of hurts, you know. Yeah, no doubt.
It's not ballet.
Yeah.
I know every wrestling fan has heard that at least once or twice. Man.
Yeah.
Pro wrestling is not.
You got to be
ballet.
tough to do this shit. That's the bottom line.
It takes a different kind of breed of athlete to be able to do what we do night in and night out.
Yeah.
It is physically demanding, but is it worth it? Absolutely.
Yeah.
More than worth it.
Yeah. It's the glory, man. You know. I mean, because driving around town to town to beat up your body, to then go to the next town to beat up your body. I mean, it's fucking crazy to actually logistically do that.
I don't mind it. The reason why I don't mind it is because look at what just happened today. So meeting your favorite wrestlers, you know, it definitely inspires people. You see people crying, and you just never know who you're inspiring. You know what I mean? So me, if I can, you know, just suck it up and drive an extra couple hours, you know, and sign another autograph, and take another picture while I'm tired. Because there's sometimes I really don't feel like doing it all the time because we're human, we get tired. But man, just seeing the fans, it just really just motivates me. It just lights that fire up even more to come back. So but not only come back, man, come back stronger than ever, break the chains.
So some of the fans are just the coolest kinds of people. Like that's the thing. Like when I'm at these places, I feel the family vibe. Like it feels like a family.
Wrestling it's a different kind of community, man. Because you literally have people you can bond with who are complete strangers, and you can sit there and talk to them about wrestling for 8 hours, 8-9 hours. I was like, man, like sometimes I don't even talk this much with my own family, let alone, you know, going this long, man. It's just nuts.
I get it, man. So last night I think I was telling somebody this, like we were out here for about an hour getting the shit together for today, and like 30 different people standing around for an hour with the only commonality is wrestling.
Wow.
And it just made me realize how special this shit really is. I mean, you know, it's like with all the shit that's being shut down nowadays and the restrictions, now that things are coming back at school. But like what I'm saying is like that's so rare to be able to be around 30 people that all love the same exact thing as you.
And you know,
it's like on Facebook you say it all the time, but that's people from all over the world, not right in your backyard.
Right.
It's crazy. And to think that these WWE shows, there's 10,000 people that are like that. You know, it's just maybe the WWE shows aren't as social as these smaller shows. So it's not like you're really talking to that many people around you at the WWE shows. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I've actually talked to a couple people about this because I get questions all the time. I think the best answer for that is pro wrestling, just like every other major globally televised sport, it's more business oriented as opposed to wrestling oriented. It's more focused, mostly focus on making a profit as opposed to, you know, the product or what you see on TV. The story that goes into the match, and there's so much psychology that goes on behind it.
See, I get a little torn up between like some shit that a couple people have said, like Bobby Heenan was like, if you get into the wrestling business for any other reason besides money, you're a fool. And like I could see exactly what he's saying, but then there's also this side of it that like when there ain't anything else going on, this shit the way that it's structured out is the best shit to be around.
Yeah.
So it's like I get the love of it and I get the money of it, you know?
Yeah, and one thing I do want to make a comment on as far as like the money aspect is concerned, it is a business, yes. Do you want to make money, make a living off of it? Absolutely. But also at the same time, I would also advise a lot of people to be careful with that, because a lot of times people would make, you know, making money or being successful or being a famous superstar, sometimes they can make that an idol. And what an idol is making something more important than what it actually is.
Yeah.
And I would just, you know, try to maintain the perfect balance. Like, yes, I still want to make money and it's still a business, but also at the same time, I don't want this to be the great, you know, the greatest thing, that the most important thing to me, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it
because
makes perfect sense.
that's completely unhealthy, and you start to lose track of yourself.